There's a war going on inside. Just to name a couple, I battle with porn and pride. In a persistent struggle, a reoccurring huddle, a prayer meeting with me and the Holy Spirit.
Yo, let me see what's going on.
Listen, man, how you doing?
Me, I'm good. I'm doing
What have you been
good.
up to?
You know, still home, still working from home, still not going outside to run as much as I would like.
Oh, you were running again, huh?
Yeah, I was running for a bit, but it's I mean, this
gets old.
it's hard to get the motivation for it, especially
in
when
this
you're.
heat.
Yeah. Well, the heat wave's gone down a little bit, but there was like a serious heat wave going on. This climate change thing is no joke. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. In Holland, you have the desert temperatures. It's actually like that. What I would imagine the Miami heat to be, because you also got the the humidity. Because this is a wet country. Everything about it is wet. It's like whether it rains or not. It's swampy. Even in the city, something about what is it, man? Why is it in Amsterdam that, like, even because the streets are made of bricks, somehow like there's this dampness in the bricks all the time. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's weird, right? I mean, it's not really weird because it's literally a city built in the
It's
water.
also constant mist. Very misty.
Yeah.
There's some mist around.
But then not gloomy
Mist.
either. It's
Fog.
not like London. Not Londony. You know,
it's not like dark.
Yeah.
No sunlight at all.
But yeah, so it got extremely warm here, and whenever there's a big heat wave, the next thing that happens is summer rain, and now it's been pouring. So I understand. I've been working out more. I mean, a lot actually.
Because I was gonna ask, how have you been doing?
Yeah, so as good as it can get. Because so the thing about this pandemic is.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing about this pandemic is, in the beginning, you knew what you were up against when everything got locked down. For business owners or entrepreneurs or whatever, especially, or people who work for themselves or on project basis, the what you got to do. There's no projects, and you do everything you can to survive and work towards when the world comes back to normal. A lot of it's gonna be marketing, networking, do your social media work, whatever you gotta do. You put your full focus on that, and your productivity goes up. And now we're in this place where things are coming back, but not really. You got projects that get set up again, and then they get canceled last minute. So you can't fully focus on them. So you end up half-assing a couple of things. You don't know what to do. Do I go back to doing what I was doing before, or do I focus on getting, this project going? So yeah, I don't know.
I see that. They're protesting again too in the Netherlands. The event branch.
What's the event branch?
Yeah, the event branch. People set up events, venues and stuff. They want more support from the government.
Mm-hmm.
Because their branch is fucked. I mean, if you're in event management or the restaurant business. Meanwhile, all these tech companies are getting richer. Elon Musk talking about
must be happy.
Elon Musk talking about another 90 million, 70 billion.
Bro, I watched this mind-blowing thing. Speaking of Elon Musk. These interviews with these North Korea defectants?
Yeah.
I've watched several of those in the past. But this one, what's her name? Yeonmi Park is an activist who is now living in the States.
Dope.
Married to an American guy, and they have a child and everything.
As you do.
She said there's only, in the history of 70 years of North Korea, there's only been 200 defectants. Insane. It's, understandable.
It's hard to get out of it.
Ins and outs of like North Korea,
it's tricky.
But still, in 70 years, 200. That she considers herself obviously lucky for it to be one of the 200. This was on Valuetainment. This is guy, you might have seen the guy. It's an interviewer from originally from Iran, who's also an American now, married, everything. He's a great show. His interviews. She said a couple of mind-blowing things, like when where was I going? Like, because we were talking about Elon Musk. She said, what's insane? That Elon Musk talking about populating the moon and populating Mars or whatever. There's a higher chance of that happening. That's going to happen sooner than an open North Korea. Or people being able to see North Korea.
It's never happening.
What is not happening?
Open. She's right. It's never.
North Korea. Okay, I thought you meant Mars.
No.
But that's crazy, right?
That is nuts.
It's crazier that you have more of a chance to see probably to live on Mars than in North Korea.
I know that's a hot topic, so be careful.
Yeah.
Don't want no spies coming after you.
Yeah, right. So, but another thing, man, a couple of things she said. I mean, this is a great interview. You guys got to watch it. Valuetainment, You and Me Park. She said that, you know, because one of the things is they when you want to escape North Korea, most of the time, it always has to happen through China. China is apparently the most regular route for defectants.
Well, China is,
but then like you have to, it comes at a price. It comes at a cost, which for the women is always being sold into sex slavery.
Oh Jesus!
And she was, you know, one of those at 13, even, and she was a virgin, and that meant that her price was higher, a lot higher than her mother's, $200. $200.
That's nuts.
And the longer she was kept a virgin, though, the higher the price became. That
is strange. But all right.
Anyway, so that happens, and then she eventually goes to South Korea. It was the first time she was free. So South Korea, she got to South Korea. South Korea is, you know, it's super modern, and you know, it's a world. Like, imagine being raised in North Korea, where she was saying like their biggest dream was to have a meal. The biggest dream is like, because they asked her like, what were your ambitions then as a kid? Like, what are you looking forward to then? And I don't want to go over the whole interview because you're gonna watch it. It's 1.5 hours. But it's crazy, like how every time it comes back, like all the kids were even talking about, oh man, I wonder because there were rumors in China that even the dogs eat rice, and they had never seen a full bowl of rice, and that was their dream. Like, what would it be like to eat a full bowl of rice? And like that's how bad the situation is. And suddenly being in South Korea, probably in Seoul, which is a super modern, you know, city. It's a metropolis, and she said that was so overwhelming that she was seriously considering running back to North Korea, because she says, I'm here now. What am I gonna do with my life? Like, who's gonna make the decisions for me? Because you know, in North Korea, everyone makes the decisions for you. Which haircuts you get, what clothes you wear. It's like, how do people do this? Like, I don't know what to do because there's no one to tell me what to do. And that's a whole other level of stress that she had never experienced before, and it overwhelmed her. And that's, you know, that was mind-blowing to me. I never thought of it from that perspective. Yeah. That, and there's another quote, man. This is powerful. You guys gotta go watch it, man. Yeah. But anyway, she's doing well.
She's doing well now.
She's doing well now.
She had a podcast?
But, you know, she doesn't. Man, very...
She should start a podcast.
Just very... what do you say? Very extremely literate in English. Very smart. Vocabulary is better than ours. You know? So... And she's only 26, huh? She left... You imagine this. Like, she left... She fled at 13... That's 13 years of being away out of North Korea, of which probably, I don't know, you can check I don't know if we have the internet to even check the facts, like when she went to America, because imagine like she was at 13, she went to China, and then she lived in South Korea, and then she was reading a lot of books. But to have that level of English and that literacy is just insane to me in that short of a time. This is a very smart lady. So yeah.
Wow. Now we're going to get to the shits.
Hey, I picked myself up a, you know, I once in a while try to dabble in new whiskeys that I've never tried. The Glenrothes, man, it is nice. So I just wanted to shout them out and tell people to go buy it. And they're not even sponsoring me, man. If they were sponsoring me, man, there'd be a lot more eyes on this podcast.
You did the shout out already. I was wondering, to what extent have you been following the Thee Stallion assault?
Yeah, so it's funny you bring it up,
because there's breaking news on that.
yeah. Yesterday I saw that Joe Budden they put out a segment about it.
Oh yeah, so you caught up.
So that's what I'm caught up. I don't know, like I don't know much of the details, but I got caught up.
Well, for those who don't know, I'm doing a quick summary. So, Thee Stallion is a female rapper who was at a party with Canadian rapper Tory Lanez. And as they left, they were in a vehicle with his bodyguard and her best friend. And the story goes, we see the video that you can find about it is that she is limping away from the car, with police all over around the car, and Tory Lanez being arrested. So the story first was that she cut her leg, that she stepped on glass.
Yeah.
Right, that was the story at first that she put out. They quickly found out that that's bullshit, because you can't hide that when you go to the hospital when they remove bullets. So
there was a bullet on the ground.
Yeah,
what the hell?
yeah, exactly. So she was shot. She was shot in the foot. But for a long time, she wasn't very clear about who did it. Now, let me be very honest. Like, I did the math. Okay, there's 4 people in the car. One of them is driving. Right. The other one is a friend. The other one is a dude who she was sort of dating, and it's his gun.
It's like the bodyguard, man. She had the bodyguard with her.
It's not her bodyguard. No, it's not her bodyguard. It's his bodyguard.
Oh, his bodyguard.
He was in the car with his bodyguard and her best friend.
Hey, what is the moral? What's the morality on that? Actually, let's say
that's the conversation I'm trying to have.
Is that the conversation? Like,
that's what I'm trying to go
with the bodyguard.
No, well,
I mean, like, if someone hires you to be their bodyguard, and you, out of nowhere, just with not being attacked or anything, you shoot someone. Are they supposed to help protect that person too, or what?
Like that.
Like, what's the morality?
We're talking about that. Oh yeah, no, that's good. I got it.
Yep.
We're talking about it too. No, I think they're supposed to stop you from. The whole point is that you don't have to do that because you're a bodyguard.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So if you do some wild shit, no, they would be. If you do some wild shit and they participate, they would be an accomplice. They'd be an accessory to whatever the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. So
and
I wonder
face prison time.
And he technically isn't an accessory, is he?
The driver now?
Yeah, I know the guard, the bodyguard, Tory Lanez's bodyguard.
Well, okay,
was driving the other car.
Well, let me. There's the bodyguard was the driver. So some cheap shit, like you couldn't pay for a driver, but the bodyguard was driving.
I thought there
was 4 people in the car.
Right.
4 people.
Wait,
in the car.
so because I was under the impression that the whole thing was that the bodyguard was in a different car.
No.
And that's why it was weird.
Bodyguard is the driver.
I was like, 2 for 1.
Yeah. Exactly. It's 2 for 1. 2 for 1 deal. 2 for 1 deal
Uber. Like Uber is like, you know how there's like these there's a dating app called Raya. It's only for celebrities and millionaires. Really? Obviously, I'm not on it. So, and
we should finesse it.
We could maybe there must be a way. But imagine like celebrities have this special section in Uber where you can the bodyguard Uber driver combo.
It would not even surprise me.
And then
that probably exists.
The plus is like a tank, and he has an AK-47.
Exactly.
So anyway,
the bodyguard's driving. So it's the bodyguard who is also the driver. Her, Tory Lanez, and her friend in the car. They find out the gun is for Tory Lanez, so he's already facing. I think he's already facing charges, and we'll do our research as well. But he's already facing charges for possession of the gun because that's an open and shut. They got there, and you have a gun. That's done.
That's
right?
it.
That was already
established. He said.
She did not say anything for a long time until recently. She came out and finally confirmed that Tory Lanez, the rapper, is the person who shot her.
Yeah,
shot her in the foot.
Tory
twice.
Lanez is a guy who, for those who don't know, was killing it on the Instagram stories and his releases during COVID. His career he had it all.
Songs taken off.
Yeah.
Instagram popping, deals coming his way. Also, he went independent.
Yeah, he was one of them. Yeah,
which is difficult. Let me make that in the music industry to get to that position where you can be independent and do your own thing, keep your own money. That is tricky.
And total independence, because there's a difference. There's all these levels of being independent.
That's a whole other, because you have the people who are independent, but they're not. They're signed to
He was
Warner
a
Brothers.
trendsetter. That suddenly he was becoming a trendsetter because he was in the background for a while, and there's reason to dislike him. There's a lot of reason.
But there's a lot of reason now.
Yeah, no, but there was reason to dislike him. But as a rapper, there was a lot of reason to love him.
Yeah.
This is our argument with let's bring this back for those bitches over there commenting about Chris Brown. This is like Chris Brown, okay? So that's it. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Well,
anyway,
well, hold on. We're not gonna end it like this. No, what else?
So but reeling it back, it was already established it was his gun. Megan, of course, didn't want to snitch. That's not that's her
so. That's
what
what they're saying it was. Right? She explained. She did a very thorough explanation on Instagram, but she explained that basically she was scared. She's there's a gun. It's them. It's a rich neighborhood. There's a lot of police. I think there was even a fucking helicopter, if I'm not mistaken. In the video, it sounded like there was one. I might be exaggerating for dramatic effect. Yeah. But, yeah, she mentioned at first she didn't want to say anything because she also felt like, you know, maybe the cops were trying, you know, she didn't want to deal with the police. Basically.
Yeah.
Right? She didn't want to deal with the police.
Especially in these times. Like,
now, what she's saying is that despite her keep being quiet, Tory Lanez had his publicist reach out to blogs online to tell lies about what happened. That's what popped it off. And that's when she went off him.
And they weren't in agreement on that. Because there's one thing about people being, you know, you get your stories straight before you lie, you know, if you want to get away with something. But this was like he just, without consulting her, just went and started selling lies.
Well, of course, without consulting her, because he assaulted. This was not an accident, huh?
No. He
shot her in the foot, on purpose.
Yeah, but part of the, her not wanting to snitch, between quotation marks, leads me to believe that there was no incentive. There was an incentive for her to protect him in a way, for some reason.
There was an incentive for her to, yeah. Well, that's the tricky thing. Because people are saying, the way I understood it from her, it was more about a matter of principle of just not dealing with the police.
Okay,
that's how she explained it. Now we don't know we still don't know the whole story. Tory Lanez has been quiet. It brings up the age-old conversation. It's a cliche. You know, it gets tired. People get angry, but you know we have to have it. You cannot shoot a woman.
You can't shoot,
especially an unarmed one.
You can't use.
You can't use no violence against women
unless a woman is coming at you with a gun. You can't do it
unless your life is in immediate danger.
Yeah,
which it was not at all in any way, shape, or form. He just shot her in the foot.
So what happens is like Megan Thee Stallion. She came out. It was an Instagram live, right? She eventually said, like, you know what? For all those asking, I'm just gonna come out with it right now. Tory Lanez shot me.
Yeah.
I'll put the clip in.
Yeah. She did. She did. Just exactly.
And
like
she
that.
showed. I didn't see the video actually, but she
showed pictures of her feet.
Yeah, there was like a gap in there that's obviously from it.
People, it's ridiculous that she has to prove that. Like, because people online were calling bullshit, saying they didn't believe it, and how can you be shot in your foot and not hit a bone? And you know what it is that it was a lot. She's saying it's because he was paying publicists to reach out to blogs to put out these type of lies to make it look like she's lying.
Right.
That's what he and when she found out that was happening because people were giving her all types of shit, then she decided to set the record straight. Now you have a recorded testimony. I don't care if she didn't say it directly to the police. There's a recorded testimony.
A recorded testimony. Do you have? Is it
because the police they follow the internet, especially if celebrities involved.
Yeah.
Especially if hip hop celebrities involved.
Hip hop. There's the Instagram police, which isn't. It's not the people on Instagram that are looking for content that should be removed. There's police on Instagram that watch the lives of people that are suspected of things or that they believe are dangerous.
Which is ridiculous that is even. It's ridiculous that they're doing that because they know it works, because they know people are so fucking stupid they would go live and incriminate themselves.
Yeah, bro. There's
like, that's the joke.
I forgot which rapper it was. There was one maybe about 2 years ago who was on Instagram Live. There was all these guns in the background. He was with his boys in his own apartment, and there was all these guns in the background. And later, throughout in the stream, the police broke into just barged into his apartment and arrested a bunch of people on live. Apparently.
Oh yeah, it was a Twitch guy, right?
Was it Twitch?
Wasn't it? I know there's one with a gamer.
There's a lot of gamers that have.
Yeah, a lot of gamers getting raided.
A lot of gamers getting raided. Yeah. So and it turns out that they were just on the live. They were watching it and saying, "All right, this is it. We gotta go to him. This is it." So yeah, it is dangerous right now. Yeah. Anyway, man. Megan was also on fire, man. Meg.
So he's currently on bond. He's out there, on bail. He hasn't been charged yet, but the LADA is what I'm seeing here. They asked law enforcement to provide further investigation before they make the decision whether or not to file felony assault with a semi-automatic firearm. Now, I am no attorney, but I don't think that sounds like a tough one.
That is a very tough
one. That sounds like
especially if you're not an American. Tory Lanez is Canadian.
Oh, you have that too.
You have deportation.
You have a lot of things going on.
Bro, you can get deported.
No, listen. This kid's fucked.
So how would you recover from something like this?
You won't. That's what I
Do you
want to
think
go
he'll ever recover? I don't think he'll ever recover from this. Well,
he doesn't deserve to.
yeah.
You can't shoot a woman in the foot and then be on some nonsense as well. I mean, he's canceled. It's unacceptable. That was my whole opinion of the thing. I was just waiting for her to say it officially, and now she's officially confirmed it. Now you've seen other celebrities come out as well and support. But you know what I think of is like, you know, when this guy 6ix9ine had snitched, a lot of people came out and said, "Oh, you can't do that, and he's canceled. We can't associate with him." That same energy has to be here now for Tory Lanez.
Absolutely.
Because you cannot criticize someone for snitching, but it's okay to shoot women in the foot for nothing. For nothing, no good reason.
This is way worse than
I mean,
6ix9ine has reason.
Several degrees worse.
See, I'm against it because, you know, the 6ix9ine thing. Morally, I'm against it because he carries himself in that way, and that's the criticism he gets from the OG rappers. You know,
he put himself in that
situation.
situation.
Stuff is like,
he's not a victim.
There's nothing wrong with in the situation he was in to snitch on these people, but you don't do that when you're carrying yourself and still continue to carry yourself as this gangster blood rapper.
Still playing with gang members. You're still testing gang members. I mean, it's a matter of time.
You can't do both. You can't place it.
The clock is just ticking.
If this was Justin Timberlake who was in that situation, you're like, yeah, of course he's gonna snitch. Yeah, let him snitch.
Yeah, exactly.
What does he have to get caught up in this situation? He doesn't have nothing
he doesn't
to do
have
with
time
it. He got kidnapped. His wife got. Sorry. They ran a train on his wife, whatever, his girl.
You can't do that. You can't. No,
because this is worse. This is way worse. Because
several degrees worse.
Insensitive.
It's unacceptable. You canceled.
Actually, on Joe Budden, they were saying, and I agree. Actually, I didn't really think too much about it, but instantly I thought, they're right about it being this is the craziest shit that's ever happened in hip hop. Like, this is the worst. This is the worst.
Crazy shit has happened. You shot a woman in the feet for nothing.
So is there anything out there about why he shot her in the foot, or what was?
There was an argument.
There was an argument.
What they said is there was an argument in the car. That's why she wanted to leave already.
Because what if he shot her? What if he killed her? What if he didn't shoot her in the foot? Like, was there even an option? Was there even the possibility of that happening? That's another question.
Of course, there's
because if someone there's
a gun involved, there's a gun involved, there's always that possibility. Even if you don't have that intention, that can happen still.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So that's what makes it, you know, that's what makes it crazy. Like, it's felony assault with an semi-automatic firearm. That's what it. Felony assault. No, that dude is canceled. You know, very talented, great music.
Yeah,
going places, but an awful person. And it doesn't surprise me because we've seen him be on some nonsense before. We've seen him go, get into it with Royce the 5'9", telling Royce the 5'9" to suck his dick. For those of you who don't know, Royce the 5'9" is not a man you tell to suck your dick. And
for those of you who don't know,
that's not a smart idea.
In hip hop culture, that's one of the worst insults you can say. That's, you know, once you say that's a declaration of war.
Listen, man, there's certain people in hip hop. You should leave that alone, and he's one of them. Same thing with Gucci Mane. Same thing with Young Jeezy. These are people. They're not just rapping. So you can look it up if you want. So he took that back very quickly also, because he said that, and Royce's response was pretty much like, all right, cool.
Then he saw that
and
it was a couple days later,
he's like, yo, I'm sorry. He took it back.
He's a small guy too. Like.
So, but there was also that story about that guy that he attacked.
Dax, man. That was my guy Dax.
Why don't you tell that story? Because it's the same sucker shit, man.
This is but
it's the same sucker shit, though.
It's the same sucker shit.
It's the same sucker shit.
It's something about, like, there's such a...
That's some sucker shit.
First of all, what I can't understand is when someone has that much success and is on the way up, and obviously, you know, his talent speaks for itself. And I'm a fan. I was a fan of his music.
Music's very good.
It's gonna make it difficult to listen to his music now, you know. But
it's canceled.
For someone who has that level of success, when you put yourself in their shoes, can you think of yourself being that insecure all of a sudden? You have to, like, bark at every tree and
he's
carry a gun around and shoot Megan in the foot.
You have a bodyguard, you're carrying a gun. Why?
We're in an argument. Okay, great. Exactly. Yeah, that's another thing. You don't like, and then so the Dax thing is, you know, upcoming rapper who I'm a fan of, Dax. Very talented guy. Go check his work out. I'm gonna put all these links in the description here. So I think was it around? I think Tory Lanez had posted a challenge, and he wanted people to diss him. He wanted them to record tracks dissing him, and he was gonna, I think, give a prize to the best diss track. And then Dex, went in there, because what Dex's thing is, he networks in that way as well. Like, he also does all these rapper challenges and all that, and he doesn't feel like he's too big to do that. Things that are usually reserved for fans or for finding new talent, and he'll be all over the place. Apparently, his track was that painful to Tory Lanez that Tory Lanez got pissed and went to his show, or like he was partying after his show at this venue, and Tory Lanez pulled up in a car and filmed Dax outside in the street after his goons ran after him, by the way. Not him, he was in the car. And you see the video, and he's out of breath, and he's like, say sorry, tell me you're sorry, tell me sorry. And he's like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, and people thought it was a bitch move too. I was like, bro, I mean, like, Dax never put himself out there as a street guy. He even says, I'm not a street guy. And you have 10 people run after him. What are you going to do?
But my other thing is also,
he's like, I'm going to avoid being shot, because the guy, I think he even mentioned, I don't know this is fact, but I think he even mentioned there was a gun in his
Tory Lanez is not a street guy too. He's a clown.
He's a clown.
He's a clown.
No, but what I'm saying is he's not part of like, he doesn't care about this whole like,
no,
if I say sorry, I'm just, I'm going to
say
my life.
I get what you're saying, but let's be clear about things like that. Tory Lanez is not a street guy either. He's a clown. He's a clown who's playing a character.
Yeah.
Because if it was not Dax, but it was Rick Ross, you're not doing that.
Yeah,
you don't have that same type of energy. You see what I'm saying? If you're a gangster, you have that same type of energy no matter who it is.
Yeah, you're talking about a newcomer
that's what
as
a
well.
gangster is to me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's what a gangster is to me. You're doing it because this is up and coming artist. He doesn't have an entourage. He doesn't have bodyguards. He doesn't have anything.
Yeah, I think he was partying with his roommates
friends,
even, he said, yeah.
And you pull up with, not even by yourself, also to approach him, but you get your friends. You get your friends to go after him.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude's he's a clown, man. He's a clown.
And then he started bragging, and I believe he was bragging. It's like, because he put the video out. Obviously, he's bragging. He put the video out of Dax apologizing. And like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's
like, oh, it's a victory because he made this guy say sorry about the diss track that you encouraged people to send you. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Look, man, I said that too when we talked about it the first time. I said it was some sucker shit. But then when he does something like this, it doesn't surprise. I mean, it's crazy. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't surprise me. Because this is the type of dude that does stuff like that.
Yeah,
he's been removed off of a song feature, a Kehlani song that he was featured on. Kehlani, ahead of the video for a song which features Lanez, Kehlani tweeted that she would take him off the deluxe version. He's been removed from a song on JoJo's album. So the women are stepping up. I'm waiting for the men.
I saw Chance the Rapper in the list.
Yeah, Bun B custom all the way out online. So there was that.
Who's gonna collab with him? Look,
I mean,
we were just linking it to 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine had Nicki Minaj. I mean, her moral compass might be off. Yeah. But
Halle Berry responded.
She doesn't get as much.
Just throwing
right?
these names.
Yeah.
You go ahead. I'm
Chance
just
the Rapper.
T.I.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj. I mean, she has the Barbies, man. They're gonna follow no matter what. There's sides to this. There's like, oh, I'm against her working with 6ix9ine, and fuck, how can she do that? And there's the other side that's like, oh, this song is great. It doesn't matter. This is different. I think in this case, you're an embarrassment if you work with him again. That says something about you and your character. If you collaborate with Tory Lanez at this point, at least give it several years to calm down, and then he comes with his apology and says, I'm a changed man. That's the only way I see him coming back is, lay low for years and then come back with a very long apology and be a changed man and behave differently, carry yourself differently.
Okay, so apparently there's someone that does support Tory Lanez. I saw this dude too, though. Is this retired NBA player, Larry Johnson? Mm-hmm. His response was, ladies, if you date a man who coined the term demon time, which I'm pretty sure he didn't coin, I don't know who you're talking about, and you get shot by him during demon hours, be accountable for your stupidity. Larry Johnson yelled some bullshit. Go fuck yourself. That makes no sense.
Who does he play for?
Who does he play for? He's retired.
He retired. Did he play for the Raptors or something?
I don't know who he was playing for, but he's an idiot.
Because there's a lot of what I've learned of Canadians is they're ride or die. Whenever it's like the U.S. versus Canada, it's like, man, we gotta stand by the Canadians.
Rappers say all types of crazy shit. They're talking. First of all, they're talking about other men when they say all that crazy shit in the songs, and even that is just for the song. But if it's about, they're talking about other men. You don't shoot a woman in foot, idiot.
You do not.
Nonsense. People have apologized for making jokes about it. Even 50 Cent apologized. 50 Cent never apologizes for anything. So that's
50 Cent keeps pouring oil on the fire with everything.
Yeah, but he apologized for this. He apologized to her for this. He said that his jokes were insensitive. He apologized.
50 Cent is apologizing.
Yeah, that's right. He said
then you know how far it has gone.
He had previously posted 2 memes. And then he apologized. He said, I didn't think this shit was real. It sounds so crazy. I'm glad you're feeling better. I hope you can accept my apology. That's from 50. 50 Cent don't apologize for shit. Anyone knows 50 Cent?
You know, we had this conversation in the restaurant recently where we were, we were having dinner. I told you, like, if it ever comes to whatever I say on the podcast, I'm never gonna post an apology for anything. I stand by everything. Like, you know how people, they post these apologies and they come across insincere, and then it puts you in a guilty light.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I didn't mean to say this. But if but you said it, so you meant to say it.
But if you're someone who thinks about what you're saying, like I would, you wouldn't do this stupidity that he's doing.
No, so but
you wouldn't have to apologize.
But I mean, so in this situation, you know, the gravity of the situation where it was like, I would apologize for that too.
Yeah, I would if
normally
what I'm saying is I don't know. I think you probably wouldn't have posted memes as a joke in the first place.
No way.
That's my point.
No way.
If we're talking about someone getting shot, she went to the hospital. There's a video where you see the police. You see her limping. So clearly she was shot. Like, that information was very clear right at the beginning. So what is there to joke about? It's already not funny.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my opinion, at least. It's already not a joking matter. It's a matter of like, okay, what happened?
Surprised me.
And he's the one who shot her. I mean, we don't need fucking CSI for this one. There's 4 people, 4 people in the car. Do the math.
CSI will put out like a 5-part series on this. Like finally, oh shit, that was Tory Lanez.
Because that's what irritated me a little bit as well. And then we can get off this.
Yeah.
But the thing that irritated me a little bit as well is people kept saying, "Oh well, you know, we don't know the whole story. We don't know the whole story." There's 4 people in the car. 1 gun. His gun. He's been charged with the gun already. Other guy is his bodyguard. He was driving. Another one is her friend.
And they were arguing.
So you have 3 people you can pick from that shot her.
Yeah.
Who would it be? The short dude that she's been dating for the last couple
Cluedo,
of weeks?
the board game? Cluedo.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Like, and now that she said who, they're still saying, "Oh, but I need to see the whole story. I need to hear the other side." I don't.
Innocent until proven guilty.
But I don't need what
people. That does not apply in this goddamn situation where there was also witnesses and there's evidence and there's guns and there's.
The only thing he can try and do is perform some type of black magic to convince me that he didn't do it. That's the only thing. Because you can't give me a reason. Because what they're saying now is that his defense probably is that he's going to try and argue that he was attacked by her. That's what he's been trying to say.
Yeah,
through
but
blogs and through publicists. It's not acceptable.
The fuck out of here. She didn't have a weapon on her either. Doesn't matter if she's trying to punch you.
The person's unarmed.
That. What's the? Never mind.
It's also false. It's also bullshit. It's also just completely made up. Let's make that clear. No, he's also bullshit. He's canceled. He should be canceled.
Someone else was about to get canceled.
People been canceled for way less. So
yeah.
This is a very good reason.
Well, this is gonna make the next topic seem tame as well, which is Ellen Degeneres.
Oh, you want to go on Ellen?
Dude, Ellen, because I mean, she got canceled. She's getting canceled, and
let me see what
she posted an apology. That's a shitty apology too, which is one of those oblivious, like, I didn't know that.
One of those, I'm apologizing, but I'm really not because I didn't do anything wrong. So go fuck yourself.
Which is like, yeah, you perpetrate this whole culture in your company, and besides. You are the one that can you look up which actor came out with this tweet? I'm just like, because there's an actor, one of the people that was a guest on our show, the recurring guest. Like I think he was on the show 3 times. This actor, I forgot his name. We'll come up with it in a bit. The whole tweet. He said like, yeah, the people are surprised. Like I was treated like shit in the backstage too, and she wouldn't even look me in the eye. And you know, I was in the green room every time, and she wouldn't even say hi. You know. Do you remember that? I don't know if you caught wind of this. Do you know who what's her name? The Dutch. There's a Dutch influencer, the makeup artist.
Nikki.
Yeah, Nikki the Jager.
Nikki Tutorials.
Nikki
I
Tutorials.
know, that's her, literally what
Nikki
people know.
Tutorials. That's the name.
I don't know her. Yeah, Nikki Tutorials. Yeah,
exactly. Nikki
yeah.
Tutorials. She's it's a Dutch. So it's a Dutch influencer who
one of the biggest influencers
in the
I
world.
think the biggest one in that space, particularly, but one of the biggest
in the world, right?
in general. Yeah. For makeup, yeah.
She's from the Netherlands. She's from here.
Yeah.
And she did a whole media tour after it was first it was leaked that she was transgender, and then she came out with it. So of course Ellen.
But she was blackmailed.
She was.
She was.
Sorry, I forgot that.
No, I remember this one. So she was black.
Right.
So people got.
Look,
people found out, hackers or whatever the fuck.
I always
found out that she was trans, and then said, "Yo, pay us this amount of money, or we're gonna put it out."
You know what's funny, man?
And then she just put it out herself, which is very, very brave, and dope. What's
funny is that I knew. I thought it was a fact. I thought it was a known fact that she was transgender.
She was trans?
Yeah.
I don't think I never got the impression that she was hiding it though.
That's the thing.
That's why I also think she could put it out that way, because I don't think when I didn't know, but I didn't know much about it all.
And I wouldn't say it was like obvious because
but there were more people that knew. Let me put it like that. There were more people that were like, I know that.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think she was hiding it. It's just that
maybe that made it easier to do the tour and everything.
People don't necessarily have to respond. People don't necessarily have to inform you that they're trans every time they pop up somewhere.
For the same reason that you don't have to call people by their pronouns, I think, because then you already assume something. I don't know.
All right, I wasn't doing that one yet.
I
wasn't there yet, but all right,
you weren't there yet.
No, but
I think
she was on the Ellen show. You were saying
she was on the Ellen show. So she went to Ellen, and that interview I thought was also a bit awkward. It was a bit of an awkward interview. You know how like sometimes you can tell there's something off, and the interviewer isn't really interested that much, or it's like a very put on fake enthusiasm and line of questioning. I felt that from the beginning. So Nikki went on De Wereld Draait Door. It's probably the longest running and one of the most famous Dutch talk shows, and it's a really good show. And
they canceled it, right?
No, so he's just retiring.
Oh, you're retired. That's what it was.
Host,
okay.
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So just reason this year that they're retiring.
All right.
She went on, and she was saying, like, yeah, it's a very different setting than Ellen, though. And she's like, opened the interview with that, and he's like, oh, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, well, I'll give you the plus in this one. You win that argument, though. And he's like, oh, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, well, at least you have the decency to say hi to me backstage. You know? I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, Ellen, like, she walks in, she didn't barely even looked at her, Ellen, and she just like, she's trying to say hi to her. Ellen was really cold, moved on, and then during the interview, she sat down on the chair, and there's just this coldness, and then as soon as the cameras go on, like, hey, so we have Nikki Tutorials on here, great to have you, and it's yeah, and it aligns with a lot of these stories that are coming out from these celebrities right now.
Man, but okay, let's get into the shits though.
Yeah.
Can't you cancel someone for being an asshole? For just being an overall asshole. I know that's not all it is, so we're going to get into that. Yeah, okay. I know there's more behind it with Ellen. But let's say that the only thing she did was just being a dick, not saying hi to people. This woman is worth $330 million. How you think you ain't going to be an asshole?
Well, she earned the right to be an asshole. I'd be an asshole.
If you have that amount of money, you're going to be a dick.
Me. Nah, on the other hand, like, you know what? I always thought that would happen to me if I had money. That would change.
No,
but the recent years that, you know, I've really discovered that as a human, for me, I'm actually very interested in other people and their stories. And I mean, one of the reasons I'm doing these podcasts with guests as well is that I'm genuinely interested in all these different stories and how they do things. That I don't think I'll ever turn into that, even though I know that a lot of things for me will change in my attitude.
I think she's been famous for a minute. She's been rich for a minute, like a while. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think it's different because I think it's different when it's been so long. I think the psychology, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it changes. That's what we were talking about when we were talking about Kanye. That's what we were talking about there as well. So you know, it wouldn't surprise me if she's some total type of weirdo behind the scenes. Like maybe she's actually super antisocial because she's super What's the word?
I mean, people close themselves off from.
Yeah, because she's afraid.
other
Maybe
people
she's super
'cause-
socially awkward, actually.
Okay,
And the only way she can be social is if she's acting.
But it's strange that the whole argument is
Throwing
strange
out
because
theories.
because Ellen's been around for so long. Like she was there when lesbianism was really frowned upon and being gay was just a lot worse than it was now. And being imagine struggling in that and breaking through and having your own TV show as yeah, like and then still changing your attitude and becoming like this.
Yeah,
like I'd be forever grateful.
No, well, I could look at it the other way around, though. I could see it the other way around. You could be like, yo, I've been giving shit my whole life for what I am.
So
now I'm on top. Yeah, but now I'm on top. Fuck all of you. That's also possible. You could turn it the other way around. You could turn it the other way around. It could go, but we've seen that.
But what up? Didn't it?
I mean, I get what you're saying is also right, but the other way around is also very possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can look at it in both ways, and I think like the person who owns the show, whose name is on the show, in the end perpetrates creates the toxic culture or like the working culture that there is.
Yeah,
and of course the managers will take after her or follow her instructions or her attitude and stuff. See her treating certain people in a certain way. They're like, okay, this is the way it goes. This is the way I have to treat them to get respect.
So we have to be accurate, and it has a lot more to do with that. There's talks about a racist culture, a sexist culture, I think, as well.
Yeah, just discrimination on weight.
There is the also workplace. Yeah, just every type of discrimination. They checked all the boxes. It was just overall off.
But here is the thing. I think that exists in almost every company.
Duh, of course.
It exists in almost every company.
But there can be degrees to it, though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What was the worst thing you read about this?
This one was bad, apparently.
It was really...
The
racist stuff was very bad. The racist stuff, I would say... Well, that's probably the worst of it, was it? So
I'm looking.
Anyway, what I'm saying is...
sexual harassment.
That's the
another,
one.
That
was the worst one. I forgot. Slipped my mind.
Yeah, that would be the one. Bosses at the Ellen Degeneres show. It also just says bosses, but alright. Bosses at the Ellen Degeneres show knew about allegations of toxic work environment and sexual harassment as far back as 2018. However, Warner Brothers says investigation found no merit to claims. No merit to claims because she's doing numbers. That's what they mean.
Exactly. I mean, what merit to claims? It's like, oh, he said, she said.
She's doing some.
That's what they're putting it down to. Someone says he got discriminated, and they're like, yeah, but it's your word against hers, and we're gonna believe the rich one. that's how it is. Yeah, but did they? It was 2018, but this is the same. This goes back. This is similar to like when they said all the actors and other producers that knew about Harvey Weinstein, and they didn't speak out. Similar to that. Except for Brad Pitt, he wanted to beat him up. He should have.
Brad Pitt is a gangster.
Yeah.
3 top producers of the Ellen DeGeneres show were fired as a result of allegation of misconduct and sexual harassment behind the scenes of the daytime chat show. Yo, this world is wild. Executive producers Ed Glavin and Kevin Lehman and co-executive producer Jonathan Norman were let go, while executive producers Mary Kennelly, Andy Lassner, and Derek Westerfeld are staying on. DeGeneres has vowed to make changes after apologizing to her employees and saying she has always wanted her show to be a place of happiness. Yeah, right, bro.
There is a thing, though.
You think it's going to hurt her numbers? Because I don't.
Yeah.
I think she has done a very good job of insulating herself. It's going to take a lot more than this.
No, but
I think her audience is
you know what it is? Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Cares.
No, you're right. You're right.
I think her audience specifically is not the type of audience that cares.
No, that's not the type of audience that cares. And the people that have been posting about her or speak, I've seen so many people talk about her, is the people that hate it already anyway, or didn't watch the show anyway. So, you know, it's like me. I never watch. I just see once in a while you see a clip come by, you know, a funny moment with a celebrity or something. That's all. So I wasn't watching it. I won't watch it. It won't change numbers because I wasn't watching anyway. Other fans, yo, man, she has a cult.
Does she have to address this on the show?
Yes. Just for
as far as I'm aware, that hasn't happened yet.
No, but wait, is it still going?
Rampant, so
it's still going
COVID-19 running rampant, so I don't know if they're broadcasting right now.
I don't know if they're broadcasting. I don't think
they're daytime chat, so you have to record new episodes. I don't know if they're doing that. It also is really one of those shows that needs an audience. where
Yeah.
she goes into the audience and she dances with people. That's her
It's
whole
like,
thing.
It's like The Daily Show sucks now, man. It already went like just on a tangent for a second.
Trevor Noah.
Talking about
Trevor Noah in his bedroom. Bro. Dude ain't had a haircut in weeks.
yeah. It's and they also do the one in like sort of this boardroom type situation with like two co-hosts. And they do the research and stuff. So but there, you know, like there's no laugh track, not laugh tracks. There's no laugh cues for the audience. It's so awkward. There's these awkward silences too. It's like he is naturally primed to sort of stop after certain jokes because then you let the audience laugh a bit and then you continue the bit. But he does it in his own bedroom now. So he's like, he makes a joke and he's silent for a bit and then continues. It's the weirdest thing to watch. And I think The Daily Show went downhill a little bit already. It's not the same. Like, you know, I didn't mind it at first because Jon Stewart was the guy. He was amazing at it.
It's his show.
It's his show. So
That is
when
the
Trevor
original
came,
Daily
I was
Show.
like, I'm just gonna see this as a completely just different thing on its own. It's just like it's a new show. It's not the Daily Show, and then it works. When you don't see it as the
Then it works.
no, it works if you see it.
Because
Like
I was
as a-
saying it's trash. But because I was
See,
I
but
was
you say
looking
it's
at it
trash.
as the
I wouldn't say it's trash because of that. Because it just changed completely. The whole gimmicks changed, and the whole the bits changed to. They added new sort of segments that like made it a different show. I know the main premise is similar, but you can say the same about Colbert. Like that's a similar show as Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
yeah, but I mean
But
these type of
it's different.
shows are really made by the host.
Yeah.
And Jon Stewart is just a phenomenal host. I don't think he's
Yeah.
just as good of a host.
Yo, but
Colbert
so
is
if
also
Jon
a very fucking
Stewart-
good host.
Hosted it now in the way it is in quarantine, it would still be the same. It would still be good. It would still be the Daily Show.
Of course. It would.
But somehow this new show of the Daily Show, the new style of the Daily Show, move that to his bedroom. It just doesn't work. Anyway, back to Ellen. That was like a.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta give Ellen the rebrand somehow.
How would you rebrand? If you were her manager right now, what would you do?
Fam, listen. We do a special episode.
You were a lesbian manager.
Okay. Okay.
You have to put yourself in their shoes, man. They're gonna think from that perspective, right?
No.
Want a swig of this?
Nah. No, what I would do, honestly, is I'd create a special special episode. One of those, what is the name for that? They have a name. Yeah, they call them special episodes. I do a special episodes, invite,
Independence Day.
no, no, do a special episode, invite sexual assault experts, invite experts on sexual assault at the workplace, HR people, and have a constructive conversation about how those things can be improved live. But do it in a way where you sound good, so you make them all be scripted still. You don't have them go, because if you don't want someone live on the show saying, so that's how you're a rapist. No.
No.
You want them to,
Calm down, bro. Like that's what. Yeah.
You know, that's how you rebrand. Now, this is diabolical. Don't get me wrong. If she really did fucked up shit, she should be, that should be addressed.
Well,
and
so
she should
wasn't it?
receive the consequences. I'm just saying, in theory, if I was, devil's advocate, this is how Hollywood. This is what I think how they would think. This is how they should think. This is not me. Very clear.
I think that's a very
I am
interesting
not
idea.
this person. But if I put myself in the perspective of an evil business mastermind, this is what I would do. You see my point?
Yeah.
I don't want people to think
No,
that
but I
I'm
think it's a very smart
co-signing
idea
this.
because see this again. We're speaking of if Oliver was our manager and if he does something wrong, he's gonna lose his job. Having your hands tied. This is having your hands tied situation. Your hands are tied. This is one thing you can do. I think that's a great idea because then it also puts the blame on because you're gonna bring it from the point of view of that this happens in all studios and everywhere that there's some form of this. She takes the blame a bit off you and it's like,
Yeah.
wait, it's happening everywhere. It's like when Lance Armstrong was caught with the doping,
With doping,
and
so
then
wait.
suddenly they found out everyone was doing it, and that's why he was doing it to keep up. That's one of the things, or everyone was doing it to keep up with him. Whatever, two wrongs don't make a right. That's the thing she'd be doing. Because it does happen. I'm 100% sure. Bro, this happens.
She would get ahead of it. You know, she would get ahead of it. That's the best thing you can do in this type, and
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
her with her platform. She has the perfect platform for a special episode like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make that public apology, and then get and say, so because to show you that we're taking it seriously, we're gonna have a special episode where we talk about these issues and just talk about them in a very general sense and what needs to be done to improve those things. and certain things that can be done to improve it, just say that you have now implemented those things on your show as well.
It's like
You know?
then you put the hotline in there. Like if you're experiencing this in your own workplace, here's who you can call.
Yeah.
It makes it a
bring,
bit of a
bring a celebrity or two along that's involved in these issues. You know, you have some celebrities are very activists for this issue. You bring one or two of them as well.
Mhm.
Make it a round table.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
it, because I know she has the chair. She has the one-on-ones. For sure,
Yeah.
episode. Change the scene. Change the
Yeah.
setting a little bit.
True.
You know what I mean? And
But,
just
but
have it.
should she lead the conversation though? Because maybe you should bring in someone.
She should be there. She should definitely.
She should put herself on trial in a sense on her own.
Yeah,
show.
she should definitely be there.
She
Yeah.
shouldn't host
She
it.
should. I don't know.
Because
Who would? I think she should host it. Who would host it otherwise? Or it should be more of a conversation than her interviewing.
right,
But
yeah.
I think
should
she
be her
should host
asking
it.
questions. Yeah.
I think she should host it still, because then you're still in control, and you still show that you're taking
I
initiative.
suppose.
This was your idea. I want to learn. I want to be better. So I'm going to talk to these people.
Mm. Yeah.
Um,
Would
so I can
you
better understand and
bring
improve.
on some of her critics, like celebrities who have spoken out against her about regarding this? Because a lot of them came to her defense, which I'm like, that's always like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, you should never take those seriously. It's like, oh, I know this person. My experience with her was great, so I'm gonna dismiss all the other experiences people had with her. There's enough people. This is why shitty people have friends. I mean, shitty people have friends too,
exactly.
right? Like they think they're great, but they don't know my experience with them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Same with me. I'm sure if, like someone hates me,
Someone-
they don't understand how certain friends are friends with me.
Yeah,
Like,
you got me. Oh, he's great. What are you talking about?
yeah, so dismiss those. But I mean, people who have publicly spoken, celebrities who have publicly spoken out against her, or even I don't know why, I forgot his name. This actor who was on the show, on the Ellen show several times, who mentioned the bad experiences backstage. Should they be on in the round table? Because that would really bring credibility, and it
Yeah,
needs
but
some
then-
balls to do.
Then it looks bad. Then you look bad. You gotta play it safe still. Her audience, you gotta play it safe still. You're really just doing it symbolically, to sort of save your ass. It's not really.
Right. I mean, the whole thing is symbolic, yeah. But to the public, it's gonna seem like she's sorry and like, oh, she went out of her way to do this whole thing and put herself on, on trial. Basically, was what I was saying. Yeah. I don't know. I think you're right though, but she won't lose any numbers. She won't lose viewers. Well, she might lose money though. Must be sponsorships, deals, and stuff that don't want to be associated with her. And we've been over this last episode as well, the Chris D'Elia, Brian Callen thing. But by the way, this hadn't happened. This hadn't came to light yet when we did that previous episode with Brian Callen's accusations. I don't want to go into it though; it's a long story. But he handled it perfectly.
Oh really?
He handled it
I didn't
perfectly.
hear about this. What did he do?
Long story, very short. I think it was even yesterday. He went on, and I'm definitely not a fan of this show, but what's his name? Steven Crowder, Louder with Crowder, the guy who yells too much and he's very right wing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, when the show, because they're friends. He's in the comedy circle with Joe Rogan and stuff. Like he knows these people, and that's the first public apology he came out with. So the statement, the accusation he received was horrible. It's one of the worst. It's straight up rape. The accusation from 20 years ago.
Callen.
Yeah.
Okay.
A woman came out 20 who he had seen 20 years ago.
So let's just to be clear, criminal, like
Yeah.
police, jail time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, I mean, yeah, it was.
Yeah. All right.
Like,
Just to be clear, that's the type. That's what you're talking
I'm
about.
trying to remember.
Full on sexual
Full
assault.
on, yeah.
Rape.
I'll shorten the story. Because I read about this quite a lot. Because I'm a fan of these people, these comedians, and he's in that circle. I think he's funny. It was more of a in the background. His friend was is a movie producer who put him in several movies. Or he was high up in a studio. The daughter of that friend went out on a date with Brian Callen, and they knew each other for years. And after several dates, like she went to his place, and she says that he forced himself upon her and started kissing her and saying like, "Come on, like this,
the regular
script. Thing." I don't know the details. There's a script.
You've heard
there.
the script.
Yeah, and that he
I've
also
seen this movie before.
She slept with him and didn't want. She said no several times, and he says so. This is 20 years ago. Everyone was advising him, his managers, Chris D'Elia, his friends, everyone go silent for that while because they want to construct the perfect response or the perfect image or wait till the dust settles and then they carry on doing their thing. He straight up went out and put out a video that seemed very sincere. It's like, I didn't do this. And he had a whole story and he's like, look, yeah, because people telling me, people tell me to hang back, people tell me to take my time, and I'm like, that's going to make me look guilty. I'm just going to go and say it because I didn't do it.
That's simple.
That's simple. And especially, he said, she didn't, she went, they asked her, why didn't you do the rape test? And she's like, I didn't want to because I felt like...
you can never do much with that.
Yeah, there's several things. Like, why didn't you go to the police? She's like, I didn't want to... Yeah.
They always ask that. Why don't you go to the police? I mean, the vast majority, statistically, of women that go through this don't go to the police. So...
Yeah, but...
That's the majority.
So obviously we don't know whether he did anything or not. For me, it's always innocent until proven guilty. I mean, in some cases there's leeway, but in general, it's innocent until proven guilty for me.
What's the evidence?
There isn't. It's her word against us. That's the thing.
That's where we are now.
But I don't know if it happened. You don't know if it happened or not. But the approach, if you're really innocent, that's a good way to do it. If you really are and you're innocent, put out that video. It was really sincere. It was really sincere. It was a good...
I didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, don't hang back. I think if you would have been hanging back too much, I mean, all the speculation is going to be that I'm going to think he did it. And it's a tricky subject, of course, but I think that was smart.
Did you listen to the Nas
album? No, I didn't
album?
listen to the Nas album, man.
Oh,
because
buddy, you have to listen.
Is it great?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Great, man. Because the most recent one, I think 2 years ago, he released one.
Yeah, and that's okay. So that's the conversation,
right?
Because that one was awful. It was bad. No, you can say it. It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. No, it was bad.
The previous one, that's the one that Kanye produced all the way. Together. This one
we discussed it. I think here the general consensus on that for us was it's like an old guy trying to get with the young guys. That's what it felt like, and it's like not Nas.
Exactly. So this album, and I would highly recommend you listen to it because it's not just me. Like it's been like unanimous praise from everyone. Everyone's like, this is one of the best albums he's put out in a long time. Like it's amazing, and it's also numbers wise, it's doing very well. It might be number 2 on the Billboard because it's just a phenomenal album, just phenomenal. And this is just I think it's an interesting conversation because the previous one that was not phenomenal was entirely produced by one person, Kanye West. They worked together to put that together. This one was entirely produced by one person as well, Hit Boy as a producer. So he worked. It's the same thing. However, you see how impactful it can be because it's the same Nas. The key difference, because the verses on the other ones were also good. It's the production combined that didn't fit his verses. And then you see when you have a producer who knows who's still like very active as a producer and is not running around trying to be president, actually pays time. Like if you listen to it, it's very well produced. Like you can tell they really sat together in the studio to do this.
I mean, it happens when you know people very well, in and out.
And they said that too, because they called Hit Boy on the Joe Budden podcast, and he said that they actually developed a sort of a relationship, a friendship, and that's when it came out of that. And they actually sat in the studio to get, because nowadays people just send beats.
Yeah,
that's what people do. But for this, they actually sat in the studio together to put these songs together. And you hear it. You hear it on the album if you listen to these tracks. You hear it. That's what happened. So
how when you
phenomenal.
When you get to know certain people or when you get to know your friends, there's certain topics you avoid and certain topics trigger them in a positive sense. So you talk about those more often. Also, especially in terms of music, what music not to put on with this person, and oh, I heard something you would appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you really know someone and you work with them in music, like that really plays a big part. Like you start getting that mindset that you get with your friends when you know which friend to show what and which friend to, not have listened to something because you think they'll find it ridiculous that you listen to that.
Because he
you'll be in tune musically. You'll know what you know, what he
you know,
really vibes on.
The critique of the previous one was exactly what you were saying. It sounded like an older guy trying to get with the young guys, and it doesn't fit. But here you have Hit Boy, who is an actual young guy, because Kanye is about as old as Nas is. I think slightly younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's younger. But that's the beauty of it, though. I love that you can hear that he's just a great producer. Because even though he's a young guy, you know, he's the one, he worked on Watch the Throne. You know what I mean? That's one of his first hits was on there. The beats are still Nas type beats. They still have an old school sound to them.
Dude, I have to listen to this though.
That's why I love it. It's not some drill shit that he did all of a sudden and have Nas rap on that. Or some trap shit. There's still Nas beats. There's still Nas type beats.
You have to decipher, is that his voice?
But it's constructed in such a way that you like, it still has that little bit of kick of modern hip hop. So then it works when he has a feature with he has one song with like a very popular up and coming drill artist 504 and with ASAP Ferg. And it's like it's great. And then he has one with Big Sean is on there. Don Toliver is on there. These are all newer artists. But it doesn't sound great. It fits perfectly. It doesn't sound weird at all. It just sounds
would you say the young artists were adapting to him more than him adapting to their style?
It was more them adapting to him.
It has to be that though. That's like an homage to the legends.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You can hear that Hit Boy understands who this is. Like he understands who he's producing for. It's not just that he's doing something. He produced it for the legend Nas.
It has to be the young guys working up, trying to impress the legend. I think that's the best way to go about it usually, because you've built up such a profile, and Nas is always in the conversation of the top 10 rappers of all time, right? So
absolutely, and
you won't have that guy.
Only adds to
and
that.
Look, a lot of these kids will eventually probably be in the conversation, maybe as well. It'd be crazy to think that all these kids aren't going to be, none of them is going to be considered ever in the conversation of top 10 of all time, because tastes are going to shift. Right now, they're not at that point. Right now, they have to be the ones that cater to Nas, not the other way around. You know, that's why it's just strange to see a legend trying to adapt to the young guys.
He doesn't. And
which he did in his first, the album from 2 years.
I blame Kanye West. I fully blame Kanye. That's just me. I blame Kanye West because Nas is not. I don't know Nas to do that. And if I listen to just the words on that album, he's not. It's the songs that were made around it that does that. And I blame that on the production. Like because you hear it clearly. If you listen to his album, it's not like he's suddenly rapping way better. The verses are better because the song is better. You see what I'm saying?
Fits well with the flow and the
but it's still the same. He was on the previous one. It's still Nas. It was still the same level of lyricism and wordplay. It's not like he was
more as the music didn't have replay value. That's what it is. You're saying this has a replay value.
Incredible replay value. Incredible replay value.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on next.
One of my favorite tracks on that is Spicy. I like that one a lot. Ultra Black is a great one.
Actually, I'm on airplane mode.
Just amazing, and it was also just to add this to it, like it was also just great to hear from Nas where he is right now. Because for those who don't know, Nas has been doing a lot of things with business and business deals and ventures and venture capital investing and all that stuff. And he really, in the previous album, I don't feel like that really had the chance to shine through. Because again, that has probably a lot to do with the fact that it didn't.
And then probably also catering to younger people, is it? They wouldn't care about that?
Yeah, but also if the songs are not good, you're not going to really invest your time into listening. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But this one, he really goes into that. He really goes into that. He addresses that, talks about it, talks about what's going on right now. You know, in the media and all the issues that are going on right now. He addresses all of those. Great album. Great album. Highly recommend it.
Thank you.
King's Disease. Nas King's Disease is what it's called.
King's Disease.
King's Disease. Great.
Go check it out.
Great name.
I'm one of those that's gonna check it out then.
For sure.
Bring it up.
Bella Thorne is killing it on OnlyFans. She's the first person to earn 1 million in one day on OnlyFans. For those who know Bella Thorne is, she is let me look. I'm actually struggling. She's an actress. I know that.
She's an actress. She was a Disney actress.
I'm trying to remember what movie she was in. That's what movie.
Well, she was in Disney shows.
But she was in Disney shows.
I saw her recently in an Adam Sandler movie with the movie with one of the newer ones that wasn't that good. You know, because Adam Sandler knows. You know, I love Adam Sandler and a lot of his older movies.
Right.
What was it? There was one where they go on holiday. with the kids, and he's a single father. It's a very new one. Maybe you don't know it because it's that new on Netflix. But she played his daughter. She was a Disney star, gone social media star. I believe Bella Thorne has a YouTube crowd around her now.
Let's talk about what.
And OnlyFans has opened many doors.
Here's what I think. Let's talk about the doors, because let's get one thing straight. Okay. Right. Just as we know what made the internet big, we know what made VHS big, we know what made DVD big, we know what made OnlyFans big.
We know what made Kim Kardashian big.
Yeah. We know what made OnlyFans big, and that's sex.
Yeah.
No,
but I really see it as that,
other people use it for other things.
Yeah, but just strange.
It has the association now of being a platform where women share sexual content of themselves, men as well. But the women are really the ones driving the numbers. Just numbers.
I told you, like, my friend who was, I won't name names right now, she asked me about, like, what about OnlyFans? Like, I had to really do my research as well. Like, because like, if worse comes to worse, I could just do that, right?
Well, the way it works is
basically like she was alluding to, right?
People, you set up an account and you release content behind your paywall, and people can subscribe to you for a certain amount of dollars per month, and you actually can set the price yourself. You can say, okay, you can change it too. You can do.
And they send these like pre-written messages to you that like it seems like you're just talking to them, DMing them. I think you can send a message to you. You could communicate with them as well.
Yeah, you can chat with them as well.
But I don't know. Can you chat with them, or is it like only the pre-written messages?
Well, you can. It depends on what they do, right? Some of them are scamming you and you get pre-written messages. Some of them claim they really answer their people
you know who's on
themselves.
OnlyFans are killing it? Apparently, Safari for the men.
Yeah. Wild.
But then, it's weird because there it's like there's a lot of straight men who are making a lot of money on OnlyFans with a huge gay fan base. Gay for pay. The term is like anyway.
Yeah. Hey man.
Definitely, but this is what I mean. Like, I know OnlyFans is used for other things as well, but I just basically see it as a pornographic web.
Which is what most people see it as. Anywho,
I think. Well, I think it's personally as a man, I think it's really dumb to pay for. Honestly, but
I don't. But let me hear what your take is.
I think porn's free though.
Well, okay, so here's the thing.
But I understand the way it works because
it's the psychological element.
Yeah.
Because what they do is all of it. They're all on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And you follow them on Instagram, and they put salacious pictures of themselves, enticing you, right, to follow them on OnlyFans. And then when you go to OnlyFans, it's not just some random girl. It's this girl I've been following. I know her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you've been following her on Instagram. I don't think that way, but that's how I think that's the trick of it.
Yeah, you know what I link it to? Obviously, that's the trick. But Twitch.
It's a more personal thing.
Like
also,
Twitch,
they do custom videos, so they'll do videos where they say your name if you want. You have to pay extra.
Oh, like Cameo.
Yeah, they do. They also do live. It's all possible.
I can't wait for people to start innovating in this too, and they're already like.
Well, there are non-pornographic versions of this. Patreon is the same concept.
I'm on Patreon too.
Yeah,
I have one
but
now.
it's the exact same concept.
Yeah, it is the same.
Not
okay.
But just,
I know people who do that. They just put exclusive content. So you're like, let's say someone has a podcast, and you're a huge fan of the podcast, and then they're like, okay, the last 10 minutes we're gonna do this other segment, but you can only watch it on OnlyFans, and it's like reacting to your comments or something.
Yeah, but I think Patreon would be better.
Patreon would be better. Yeah,
OnlyFans gives you the sex brand now. If you tell people, yo, I have an OnlyFans, they assume you're gonna do some sex.
Of course,
right?
But I link it to, it's similar to Twitch, where the gamers, for example, and there's a lot of critique that a lot of female streamers get, is that so the men always have to be extremely entertaining to get a fan base, and women, if they're attractive, they just get a fan base anyway, even if they're not good at the video game, whatever.
That's true.
But what Twitch does is you donate. You can donate a certain amount of money, and your message pops up on the screen, and the robot reads it out to the streamer. So that you're interacting with them, by paying. You pay to have a conversation with them, basically. And they react to you. This is the same way because a lot of these women as well can go from Twitch to OnlyFans. And this is how you weave that fan base, that's like, oh man, I'm getting attention. I'm just, because a lot of these people, they get these unrealistic crushes on these streamers and people
same here with
but they play on it though. They play to it. They cater to it.
Because
that's like they're paying me so much money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for OnlyFans.
There's women making fucking $80,000 a month.
Dude, if any of these female streamers go to OnlyFans, they're gonna kill it.
There's women out there making fucking $100,000 a month, $20,000. But this, okay, so this
1
lady,
million in a week.
1 million in a day. No, for her was
In a day.
For her it was 1 million in a day.
Why was it in a week, man?
No.
Insane.
She's the first person to earn 1 million in one day.
What did
and
she
all
do?
she did is just announce it. Within 24 hours of debuting her page on the site, the actress set a record by earning more than 1 million, according to OnlyFans. The site is a subscription platform, blah blah. She announced the launch of her OnlyFans page on her verified social media on August 14th.
Wait, she was Bella Thorne was also blackmailed into releasing her nudes once. Recently.
Well,
she's the person. Yeah, that's her.
Apparently, she's just releasing them now.
What happened with her was, this is interesting actually.
She
was
no, hold on.
What?
I was gonna go to her OnlyFans.
We'll put it on.
Subscribe.
No.
Subscribe.
So what happened with her?
Hold on.
She got
incognito.
She was where's it going? Yeah, she was empowered. At some point, like, she got a lot of encouragement from women because she was super empowered by. She released some DMs that she got from a guy who had hacked her.
OnlyFans 18+.
18+, of course. I mean, you have to put that up. But so Bella Thorne's account got hacked at some point. Like, her phone got hacked, something. Her cloud got hacked. You know what it is. And she released DMs with the guy who hacked her, who was threatening her. Is like, you have to pay me, or I'm gonna release these nudes. So what she did is like, yo, fuck you, I'm gonna release them then. And she released her own nudes because she didn't want to submit to getting blackmailed by the person and pay them.
Which is a boss move.
It's a boss move. And now it opened the door.
Well, it's not just that. Apparently, she's also last year she received the Vision Award from Pornhub for her directorial debut of adult film Her and Him. Apparently, she's directed a porn movie.
Okay.
And they give her an award for it and everything.
All right.
What's
with the Disney stars, man? Hey, look, nothing against it. I think get the bag.
Let her direct the porn if that's what she wants. If that gets her off.
I think
apparently has a decent storyline too.
So it's like a movie.
The setup is a 20-something guy stumbles upon a surprise text in his girlfriend's phone, interrupting their morning routine and spinning everything in an out-of-control, sexually charged encounter. Sounds interesting. I'd watch that.
Right.
But anyway, you were saying
I'm
Disney
not
stars.
against. I'm not. I say like I like people dabbling in different fields or transitioning into different, expanding the money, getting it in many different ways. So I'm not against it. I just find it hilarious that, and I think that I sort of get the psychology behind it. It's the same reason Miley Cyrus went crazy at some point and went the whole other extreme. It's the best way to break out of the Disney persona. I think Ariana Grande still struggles with it, honestly. Like the Nickelodeon, for it was Nickelodeon, but you know what I mean. Like it's similar.
It's the same idea.
I think she's struggled with it for a while, and now she's starting to come out with the, more herself, with Seven Rings. You know that song as well. That's her. I think that's really her. Like she was really trying to make a statement as well. But like, this is me. I'm like everyone else, breaking through the persona. Miley Cyrus, Bella Thorne, those people are doing it in another way, in a very extreme way, in your face, like the complete opposite of the child stuff they were doing before. To really, and then at some point it balances out and goes back to normal. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Well, Miley was on some culture vulture bullshit, but
yeah. Now she's, I think now at this point now she's probably in the center where she's really, really herself. Where she's calmed down a little bit, but she's just like, for me, she's like a normal woman, like any woman you ever meet.
So apparently, all of this is part of a rollout for a film she wants to make. Some of the questions that she's asking: what are the ins and outs? What does a platform like this do to its users? What's the connective material? See, when they talk about connective material, you know they're really cooking between your life and your life inside the world of OnlyFans. How can it change your life for the worse and the better? How far are you willing to go?
Wait, she's doing a PhD on this research project?
And how far do you want to go? You can be me or this talented girl from Montana, and OnlyFans could change your life if you wanted to, of course. There's a lot of random girls from Montana whose life has been changed. That's right. That's absolutely true.
From Montana specifically.
There's a lot of... it's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah, man. Like there's so much. Jesus.
You know, for the
Christ,
dudes, you have to just get a job. But I mean, if you're a girl,
part of me thinks, why did nobody think of this before, though?
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like fuck, bro.
What I'm saying, because the guys, there's guys on there, like you said, the gay for pay or whatever.
They don't even get to like.
They're straight guys that are on there, but I mean,
But they don't even.
they make. If you're lucky, if you're really doing well as a guy on OnlyFans, you're making a decent living.
And the only way to really do well there is to collaborate with the other ones, the women on OnlyFans.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah,
these women, man,
I think,
are balling the fuck out. These women are on some ASAP Rocky type of money.
I think the highest earning guy on there was like around 25 or 27K per week. I mean, look at the difference.
Girls are making a whole different type of money.
I know, this is insane.
You see what I'm saying? And no, all power to them. Future's female. I'm all for it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I do think it's gonna crumble, though. No offense.
The OnlyFans
not to be the doom person, but this is not sustainable. This is gonna go wrong somehow.
OnlyFans? How do you think? You just say somehow, like.
Well, one. I think there's. I think some type of scandal is gonna come out. I think something's gonna go wrong. Well, they already had an issue where it was hacked and all the OnlyFans pictures and material were put out all online. There was
they're gonna suffer because they're gonna get sued.
Right?
Their security isn't on point.
But I think people are gonna come into seeing just more issues of like, you know, people not really getting their money or content being still, because there's other people who do that. They get the OnlyFans of the lady and then they steal all the content and they go put it somewhere else. They go put it on their OnlyFans. You know, all types of bullshit. So I don't know. I think it's ripe for fraud. There's a lot of issues in there. You know, don't let the parents get a whiff of it because they're gonna crack down.
Especially from Montana.
Well, you know, because the OnlyFans ladies, they promote themselves on Instagram. That's the main place to promote themselves. Now, Instagram has been very, you know, very progressive with their codes of conduct and their terms and conditions. Because
they used to be, not anymore.
Less, but they still are. They're still.
Well, Twitter though. Twitter
it's still
is
surprising what you
open.
can find on there. It's still surprising what you can find on there. Take into account there's very young people on Instagram.
Yeah. No, what's shocking is Twitter though. You can literally post a porn video on Twitter.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's what's that's. But
that's just I don't know what their thing is.
I feel like Twitter is an abandoned building. I feel Twitter is. I know it's still popular. A lot of people still use it. I don't understand why, but you know, but it feels like a place where. There used to be a lot of regulation, like my high school. There used to be a lot of Christian regulation, and then suddenly they're like, it's just too much to handle. There's way too many idiots in here, and they're just doing their own thing. So let's just let them go, man. We can't police this whole thing. So let's all go on strike. Let's quit. My high school, it's like, I remember one time. Oh, we were about to graduate, guys. The last week of school, we always there was a tradition. We'd run away. We wouldn't show up to class at some point. Like that's always the senior year, and you'd want the teachers to chase you to try to get you into class.
Nice.
And the goal is for the whole class to get kicked out of school. We went out. We went around the building. We were chased out of the building by the principal. I think it was. No, at that point it was still two of the teachers, the disciplinary or whatever, and then the principal came. And they started giving us a lecture outside of the school after they put us out. They were like, "You're not gonna graduate. We're gonna block all." I was like, "You really think we're that dumb? Like, the school is gonna ruin its reputation by not having a graduating class? 0 graduates for this? No way." So we just did our thing. We ordered food outside of the school. We started dining outside and everything. And then the principal came out again to sort of tell us off. And this kid who had been expelled like years ago and was in a new school, lived next to the school, came out with us and started hanging out with us because he knew the people. Kid had he had a smoke bomb. He had a smoke grenade, like from the military. His father was, I'm not going to incriminate his name. Those of you who were there know, you know. And he threw it at the principal and they closed the door and they all scrambled into the school and stuff. That's ridiculous. So that's Twitter. That's Twitter.
That's crazy.
Story from my childhood.
So yeah, OnlyFans, man. You know, Bella Thorne, go check it out. I'm curious what she's doing.
Influencers finding creative ways.
I would be shocked if she's doing some hardcore shit, but I don't know.
Probably not. Maybe it's just like a side boob or something. So I started to pepper it up, you know. Pepper up their fan base. I was like, start with $5.
Pepper up to.
But that's how you
look what kind of language he's using.
you could
pepper up the face.
You boil the frog, man. Slowly. You start with $5, and then it's like you want more. It's 10. You want the hardcore shit? Pay $100.
I'm trying to get to to the OnlyFans legit. Oh yeah, here she is. Hold on.
TikTok is going down. I wonder what all these TikTokers are gonna do. Like, this is gonna weed out all the untalented ones from the ones that actually have talent. Because you can never be dependent on a platform, man. If you have a real talent, you have a good talent, you're good at something, you're gonna find a way to thrive regardless of the platform. Hey. Let's say YouTube, video creation. There's always gonna be a next thing where or next place you can upload your content. You can get innovative with it. But if YouTube fails, and let's say Instagram models, people make their money off Instagram. If Instagram just dies one day, they're finished. Unless you are Addison Rae. That's one of those people that so I was looking at the top podcasts recently and I was like, wait, what is this? There's a new entry to the list because the top 10 podcasts at least you've heard of at least once.
On Spotify or iTunes?
I think this was Spotify. Mm-hmm. Addison Rae and her mother have released a podcast, and that's Addison Rae is a girl who was on TikTok.
Wow, got it.
And as soon, whoa, you found.
Yeah, I got it. Oh, you have to,
we got
pay.
Bella Thorne's OnlyFans. Of course, you gotta pay, man.
So we got Bella Thorne's OnlyFans.
It's not gonna be on my bill.
No, I'm not paying. What are you nuts? I'm
secretly I'm ready to subscribe to 100.
I'm just trying to see. Get to know me more. I'm your girl. All right.
Oh, they put those texts like that. They change that, man. Bella, I'm with you, like on this making money thing, but don't do that. That's
all right.
corny,
so you could get. Let me see.
What are the rates? What are the going rates these days for Bella Thorne's nudes?
You can subscribe for $16. That's a 20% off for 30 days. You can get yourself a subscription bundle, $51 for 3 months.
That's a good deal.
Or
that's a good deal. That's like bonus at all the time, man.
Look what this man is saying. $102 for 6 months. Apparently, there's 21
Imagine
photos.
how many people are there, though, man. If
Apparently, she's already made 41 posts. So there's some stuff on there. There's 21 photos. Let me see how many videos are going on. There's 7 videos up there already.
Can't you call Jeff to do some hacks?
No, fam. Like, I don't think
he works at a bank.
I don't think you can hack them that easily. Normally, they have a cover picture here. I was wondering to see what I was.
Well, maybe that's one of the pictures you need to unlock. No, so it's like $5. You get the cover photo, and then extra 10, you get the profile.
Yeah, but so that's she has an Amazon wish list. What does she want?
Oh god,
they made you rich. Come on, you want a wish list?
This is like this reminds me of Kylie Jenner, who wanted fans to, or someone created a donation page for her so that the fans could help her reach the $1 billion. So fans donated to her to become a billionaire. Just so they become a billionaire.
Which is nuts.
What the fuck, man? Sorry, I don't want to curse as much on the podcast anymore these days.
Yeah, I know, but it's nuts.
It's nuts. So I was saying, Addison Rae. Most TikTokers are gonna lose their career, I think, now. But I think there's a lot of value in the ones that are gonna make it and are already finding new avenues to make money. And I think, as I said, like the one I found, Addison Rae, definitely outside of her demographic, but she's now doing a lot of content. She has a YouTube channel doing content with Kourtney Kardashian, I believe. It's Kourtney, yeah. And she has the podcast. It's just now, because this young fan base is learning and easy and opening up to podcasts now because they're all on YouTube. And it's in their domain, and like their influencers they're following from since they were kids are starting their podcast now. They're understanding podcasting more. All those, but most podcasts aren't catered to that young of an audience. And it's long form. The younger audience has a short attention span. They want the quick content. It's interesting to see that just someone from TikTok who's in their age group, I think she's like 19, can get all that whole fan base in a net, basically, and become one of the biggest podcasts that quickly on Spotify. And I actually think the concept sounds interesting. It's like a teenage girl basically talking about life and relationships with her mom. So you get the perspective of the kid and the mother, and maybe you get that like awkwardness where like there's topics they never really discussed and talked about. But it shows there's talent, and the talent will find a way to survive regardless of the platform.
A good idea. Well, you should always diversify your platforms.
Yeah.
Just like your portfolio.
Don't make your content platform reliant. Make it sort of timeless. Not timeless is not the right word, but
invest in your
universal.
Name. Yeah, people should just be fans of you, not you.
Yeah, regardless of what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a way to go about it. It's like not. Yeah. I don't know. That's all we have, though. We have a very long episode again. It's gonna be hell to edit, but it was good to talk to you, man.
It was good to talk to you too.
And we'll be back. We'll be back soon with more of these. There's a couple of guests lined up, so we'll probably go back to the old setup for those. And keep showing support, and we'll keep bringing you content.